I'm Tyler Keefe, joined by Sammy Taormina from Orion Neighborhood TV, and he is the guy to go to for all things OAA sports all season long, all throughout the football season especially. And Sammy, as we look at the season for your Lake Orion Dragons, for our West Bloomfield Lakers, the OAA Red, again, one of the toughest divisions in the state of Michigan. What are you expecting from the Red in 2025 after what was arguably the most competitive season ever in 2024?
I still call this the group of death. You think about in soccer terms, that's basically what it is. You really look at it. Every team's got a strength, every team's got a weakness. When you look at, of course, this division, you look at West Bloomfield, they remind me almost similar to North Farmington, especially with Jamal Shakespeare playing the role of Terrence James. And then you look at a team like Oxford, obviously Jack Hendricks back. Clarkston, we know, has got they're loaded. They got a lot of players back, but I still got concerns about that defense. Lake Orion, this Lake Orion team reminds me of the team I was on back in 2005 when we won a we won a district championship and we beat Clarkston twice in 1 year. This Lake Orion team, they're pretty much under the radar. One of the most unknown that people need to know about.
Do you think there's any one team in this division that does stand out? It could be that team that we look toward later on this season with West Bloomfield and say, that's going to be probably the toughest game on the schedule.
Last year Oxford was projected to finish last, and they won the division. So you kind of think about you can't really, any of these 5 teams can win this division. You look at the talent in this division, the schedules that everybody has. It would not surprise me that all 5 teams in the Red make the playoffs this year again. And I think that's really what I think is going to happen. And you know what I mean? And I really think with that team that with all 5 of these teams, there's no doubt in my mind I think these 5 teams will make the playoffs.
As Laker Nation gets ready for Week 1 on August 28th and hopefully another really exciting season of Laker football, from your research, from all your conversations with Coach Hilbers and other teams throughout the OAA, what do you think Laker fans should be most excited about as they look forward to their football team in 2025?
Well, obviously Jamal Shakespeare is he is a gifted athlete. There's no doubt about that. I really think if you look at West Bloomfield, the strength of this team is going to probably be their athleticism. Their defensive secondary is very good. They got a very good. The only concern that I have West Bloomfield is the depth up front. Obviously, you got some good linemen there, but if they get hurt, that could spell trouble. Also, Jackson Carver. He's a quarterback that I think a lot of people need to know at West Bloomfield. I know last year he got hurt and didn't play his JV year, but he's back. He's going to be, when I put it this way for West Bloomfield, if Jamal Shakespeare has to play quarterback this year, that's a problem. And I'm not being mean to you, because West Bloomfield is almost eerily similar to North Farmington when you look at North Farmington and, with Terrence James over there. So I really think for West Bloomfield, for them, the key for them is staying healthy. And if they stay healthy, there's no doubt this is a playoff team. But I just think, when you look at the division, it wouldn't surprise me that whoever gets out of that division is going to probably have at least 3 losses.
Yeah, Coach Hilbert said it on your podcast. I was listening to it, and I just can't get it out of my brain. He talked about Jamal Shakespeare. You mentioned him as a quarterback, and he said, it's really tough to refer to him as just a quarterback. He can play so many different positions. So really good point that if Jamal's playing a lot of quarterback, there may be some things that are left on the table for Laker Nation. One more thing we're going to be seeing is outside of the division, really tough matchups for West Bloomfield. What's really interesting close to home in our community, up the street, Bloomfield Hills, back on the schedule. They got a new coach, one of the all-time greats in southeastern Michigan, in Scott Merchant. How big is that going to be for one of the Lakers' opponents this season, the Blackhawks?
It is a big deal. What Scott brings to this league, obviously we know what he's done at Chip Valley. Obviously he was at UD Jesuit for a time, and then of course obviously at Lawrence Tech. But what Scott brings is he's going to bring accountability. He's going to bring results there. Now I don't know if it'll happen this year. When you look at Bloomfield Hills, considering the division they're in the blue, but I really think what Scott's going to do, and they got program strength, and that program strength's a big deal there. So it wouldn't be long, I think, until for the Battle of Bloomfield, it's going to be right back in the thick of it again. It will not be very long.
One of the great rivalries in southeastern Michigan, been a little bit dormant over the past decade or so. Perhaps back on its way very soon. Sammy, before we let you go, I want to get your predictions for the Red. hear what your predictions for your Lake Orion Dragons and, of course, for our Lakers.
When you look at, it's hard to predict this division because, you look at last year with Oxford, you know what I mean? They were projected to finish last. Then they went and win the division. So, I really can't really judge it right now. I mean, it's early, but, I really think, I want everybody to watch my previous show, and I'll give you my definitive answer there.
All right, you teased it. Where can people see it?
You can see it on the Orion Neighborhood Television YouTube page. We're going to have the preview shows coming up. I'm going to start working on them next week, and we're going to go from there.
Podcast's already up, each and every coach in the OAA Red and all throughout all divisions of the OAA. Almost every coach on the podcast. Sammy, thank you as always.
Thank you really much.